You see, because love is eternal. And therefore, anything that's eternal is ever fresh and ever new. Because it is now. It has nothing to do with past and future. You see? And that's the beauty about anything eternal. The eternal is, and in that isness means it's not old. It's always fresh, always new, always alive. And that's what love is. Love is always alive and fresh. The moment you take it for granted, the moment you say, oh, he's mine or she's mine, because now we're married or engaged or whatever, the moment you start doing that, you start expectations, judgments, and everything starts to build, and before you know it, we have the first conflict. You see? So when we talk about love, we're talking about now. Compassion, same thing, because you do not judge. You do not compare. You don't bring the past. Oh, this guy came in and he's been in prison for 10 years. Immediately, we don't see a person. We see a prisoner. We see a convict. Do you understand? So this is what is, but when you look with now, you don't see a convict. It's just a being. You see? And the beautiful thing is, you might say, but he's a convict and he's going to be thinking in a certain way and he's going to be rough and blah, 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 blah. This is your judgment. Did you know that if you were to look at that person with fresh new eyes, with innocent eyes in the moment, he will know it? And he'll feel less threatened? Truly. So this is the point, you see? And we're talking that now is your true nature, and now has no noise in it. No noise at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to think of the present as that which has been presented to me.
Yes.
In the now, but it's been presented to me for my consideration. Do I want to buy into this or not? But as soon as I do buy into it, of course, then I start going up the wrong alley. But it helps me because even if the past is presented to it, it's a current thought. It is a thought which has been presented to me in the present.
Yes, yes. And when you are living in the now and you learn to live in the now, all that is also applicable, but you see it.
Right.
Okay? You don't stop looking anything, past or present. You know that when whoever you are seeing, they have a past and a present. But you're not concerned with that, because the real thing is now. And that is the whole point. You're still in the present, of course you are, you're 100% in the present. But the point is that you know what is real. You see, we always want what is real. Everybody wants what is real. If you have a relationship, you want it to last. If you have money, you don't want to lose it. You want to hang on to anything and you want to make everything real. Why do you want to make everything real? Because we want what is real. But we think that what is real is what we see, what we experience, what is around us. But the real is pure energy, source from which everything emanates. Last week we discussed Einstein's theory of relativity, where he says emphatically, he realized that time and space cannot be realized through the mind. He had to go deeper. And then he saw that everything is light, and everything is relative to light. So, what you see is a product of light. Therefore, it is relative truth. And that was the theory of relativity. See, everything is in relationship to the source. The source is everything. The light is everything. So, we go back to now and the present. Okay? The present is relative truth. Everything that is in the present is relative. Relative to what? The present. To the now. Now, when we talk about now, we are talking about something that cannot be defined. So let me repeat what I have already said about 2 weeks ago. I believe 2 weeks ago. I don't. As I'm speaking now, every word that you hear is already past. Because you heard it. Every word I haven't said is in the future. Can you grasp that infinitesimal moment in which there is no past or future.
It's all inclusive. It's all inclusive.
It's all inclusive. It's all inclusive in the present, but the now is the source that makes the present possible. Because the now is timeless. And therefore, it has no time. If I can say, oh, this is going to be past, this is going to become present, and I can feel it, I can grab it, then it's time. Then there's time, right? There is a time element there, which is the present. But the now is timeless. Now, the mind cannot grasp that. And because the now is timeless, every minute second of everything that is ever happening is the source of everything that is beyond time. So therefore, my true nature, when I am totally noiseless, when I am totally quiet, when I am totally silent, and go deep into my being, I reach what is being called the kingdom of God, okay? I reach that ultimate being. And that ultimate being immediately will let me know through that moment of seeing that I am eternal, that I am timeless, that I am this now. That's all you need to know. So it's not a knowing that you study, it's not a knowing that you carry in your information, in your mind. It's a knowing that explodes in your heart and says, yes, this is the way it is. The ultimate realization, self-recognition. You see? And that becomes your life, a very, very rich life. Because everything that happens there cannot touch you. Because you know you are that which is timeless, which is the source. I'm belaboring the point, but this is so important. Okay. So, but, just like you said, very, very good. And I'm glad you brought it out. Yes, the present is definitely needed and understood, and we need to use it. But, we always know that we are now. No matter what is happening, we are now. Functioning from now. See, and it is that which brings peace. If we do not know the difference between now and the present, then we wonder why, oh, I'm still depressed, and why is this happening to me? Oh, well, I shouldn't. We're still fulfilled with questions, you see. But once you realize you're the now, then the present itself does not.
So it's almost like the cradle. The now is almost like the cradle for the present.
Yeah, it's the source, it's the foundation. It is it. You see? Yeah. You can call it the cradle. It is the epitome, yeah.
The experience of that is that it doesn't last.
The now doesn't last?
Yes, it's like you come to experience or realize that, but it doesn't last. It's only a flash.
What doesn't last?
The experience of.
The experience of
the now, the who the real me is. The peacefulness.
Listen to what you're saying, okay? Listen totally what you're saying. See, what you are really saying is when you say the now doesn't last, you are referring to the noise as reality. Do you understand?
I'm trying to grasp it.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. But
you cannot grasp the now. And this is what I'm trying to say too. You cannot grasp the now because to try to grasp the now is just like saying the ego is trying to look itself into the mirror and the reflection is trying to understand itself. It can't be done. No, it cannot. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi used to say, if you try to grasp the ultimate, it would be like a thief stealing, and after stealing becomes a policeman and then captures himself and puts himself in prison. You know, I mean, it can't be done because you are trying to grasp something that is you. You see, you are the now. Okay, you are the now. When you say you cannot, but I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. So I just want to stay with it. But I have to explain what I have to explain. So what you said is it doesn't last. I know what you're saying. But at the same time, if you understand it, what you're really saying is that the now comes and goes. And it comes and goes because I'm making real the noise more than the ultimate silence that I am.